Good evening, everybody. This is meteorologist Andrew Pinero with this next weekend outlook forecast. So this one's going to be an interesting one. The beginning of the week, we were not looking at rain. It was actually looking like it's going to be a snowstorm for this weekend. However, that's not 100% the case anymore. There are still some winter weather advisories and winter weather stuff out there. We're going to look at that on the computer in a second, but overall, this looks mostly like a very, very wet and soggy, especially the second half of the day on Saturday. So now, let me switch over to my computer screen here, and we're going to start to take a look at this. All right, so I have up here, this is from the National Weather Service. We have a couple of these watches and advisories. All right, not really watches, but just advisories. So in the purplish color here, all these couple of counties, that is a winter weather advisory. And that winter weather advisory is really just for the first part of this system. And this is where it's saying here, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday. Mixed precipitation of snow, sleet, and freezing rain is expected. Total snow and sleet accumulation of up to 1 inch and ice accumulation of a few hundredths of an inch. Remember to slow down and use caution while traveling. That's a key aspect here, to slow down throughout. Even if it's not any kind of winter weather, there's going to be some pretty heavy precipitation here. So keep that in mind. So that is what is expected for the higher elevation area. So we've got Sullivan-Ulster County going a little bit into Sussex. So that's where we're going to be seeing the wintry weather. Everywhere else here is in either a coastal flood advisory or a coastal flood statement. So that's because we're going to have a lot of rain coming through with this. That's the key. So let's start taking a look at some of these forecast models. So I have up here the GFS. And let's go through this frame by frame. So with this, I'm starting out, so tonight, the winds are going to start to kick up. So this is where we're starting to see the winds kick up here. This is, so that was 7, this is 1 a.m. time frame. We're starting to see the winds pick up there. And on the GFS here, it doesn't show any kind of wintry precipitation. It's just all rain. The wintry precipitation may be a little bit north of Albany, going into Canada. That's where the wintry precipitation is there. And then that's just a lot of rain to be coming through. And it's going to be very windy too. But then once that makes its way through, we have some cold air advection with the counterclockwise rotation, that wraparound snow. So maybe around Albany, the Finger Lakes. And then going into Sunday, it really doesn't look like it's going to be a bad precipitation kind of a day. However, what's happening here is we're seeing a lot of wind with this increased pressure gradient and those close isobars. So that's for Sunday on the GFS. So again, it's going to be a very wet and rainy, on the GFS at least, wet and rainy afternoon going through Saturday. Then it starts to end overnight Saturday into Sunday. And then a windy Sunday with maybe some lingering snow showers or flurries on the back end of this system. So that's with the GFS. And now let's take a look at some of these snowfall accumulations here. So with this, I'm just going to start going through. And this is going through Sunday night, Monday morning. So really, nothing there. So we just take a look at Saturday again. It's just really rain. And then going into Sunday, maybe a little bit overnight Sunday into Monday, more north. That's with that little wraparound. But that's really about it. There's nothing really in terms of a wintry aspect for this for most of the tri-state region. Now let's take a look at the Euro here on pivotal weather. So we had the good old tropical tidbits. And now we are on pivotal weather. So let's start looking at this frame by frame. Again, it looks like we're starting to see overnight tonight the winds picking up with that increased pressure gradient. And then this is where it looks like a little bit of a hint here in the beginning. Maybe around Sussex going to northern Orange, Sullivan, Ulster County there. That little bit with the higher elevation. This one, I actually believe the Euro a little bit more than the GFS on this because of those higher elevations, and it's still cold. I mean, it's like 36 right now. So just in the very beginning, that's where we could see a little bit of that wintry mix, but then, look at this, all rain. So most of the area is getting heavy rain throughout this system. Then on the back end of this going into Sunday, the pressure gradient is still there, so windy. And then we're seeing a little bit of this flurry action happening. So that's the Euro. And then let's take a look if there's any kind of precipitate or snow accumulation. And really going through the next couple of days, yeah, it's really very little for our area. So today is the 24th, the 25th, the 26th. This is where, again, more west here. Because of the colder air. Yeah, there could be some good snow accumulation. But at least for the tri-state region, not really much. Even going into Pennsylvania, we still have this contour of over 6 inches of snow. So that's the Euro. Now, back to good old tropical tidbits with the icon. Let's take a look at this. Increased pressure gradient overnight tonight. And then the rain starts late morning tomorrow. And then the heavy stuff starts to come in by like 1 or 2 p.m. There's that heavy stuff. But this one didn't hint at all at any kind of frozen precipitation in those winter weather advisory areas here. So that is something where I don't think that's really going to be the case. There may be a little bit of some sleety, icy kind of precipitation at first, just maybe briefly for an hour or two. And that's really going to be about it. I don't think it's going to be nothing at all, kind of like the GFS or the icon are showing here. But still, lots of rain. And on the back end of this, going into Sunday, windy with an increased pressure gradient there. And then we still see some of this wraparound snow shower action happening. And then here for the icon, let's take a look at any kind of precipitation. And then going through Sunday, really nothing for, again, the tri-state region. Much less the Euro. I don't know what the Euro was doing with the accumulations here, but that 7.9 inches going into Canada, 6 inches at Pennsylvania-New York border there. I don't think it's going to be that high. But the icon here, yeah, you could see 1 or 2 inches. That's a bit more what I am thinking. And then the last one for this video is going to be the NAM. Let's take a look at this. Now, the NAM does seem to have a pretty good grasp on winter weather sometimes. So we'll see. So this is, again, showing overnight tonight increased pressure gradient. And here, this is kind of what I'm thinking. This little pink right there. That's where the winter weather advisory is coming from. And with that very tight pressure gradient, it's going to be very windy. And then here comes the heavy rain there. I don't know if this was warmer, I'd say that would be a line of thunderstorms, but it's too cold. And there's not enough CAPE or convective available potential energy for that. So this is through the second half of the day. It's going to be very wet, very windy for Saturday. And as that leaves, we are again seeing this wraparound snow here and still windy conditions with the increased pressure gradient with the isobars. So that's going through the day on Sunday and then a little bit into Sunday night. And for snow accumulations, let's take a look at that. And then going through really Monday morning, again, not much, but this is kind of what I was thinking. Maybe a little trace again, that little bit of Sussex going into Sullivan, Ulster, Orange right there. Just a little bit of a trace at first, but then just heavy rain after that. And then maybe a bit more west going into New York and Pennsylvania. Yeah, a couple inches of snow, and then there could be going into Canada more significant snow because it's just colder there. All right. So that pretty much wraps up this video. Kind of wanted to keep it right around 10 minutes. So thank you guys for watching. So overall, again, tomorrow it's going to be a very wet and soggy and rainy day. Not a good day. It's actually a really good like hot chocolate or a soup day. That's going to be really good for tomorrow. Then Sunday, it looks like we're just going to have maybe some windy conditions, but then maybe some wraparound snow showers or flurries later in the day. So that concludes this weekend Outlook forecast video. If you enjoyed and you want to see more, make sure to hit that subscribe button below and then the little bell icon right next to that so you get notified when I upload a video like this or I do go live sometimes. Now, if you want to get more weather updates, I'm going to try and get that regular stuff happening again as we're back into the new year. So make sure you check back on the channel for that. For more car videos, I'm actually going to have a very interesting car video with some friends that I have planned for this. More climate change videos and some more gaming videos. So again, that wraps up this video. This is meteorologist Andrew Pinero. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in that next video.